I couldn't afford any of that fat loss cream or gym membership, so I'm just gonna pour bleach on my stomach and do like all the crunches. You've heard countless infomercials and seen every scam out there about how you can spot reduce fat or get rid of belly fat, make the extra wave go away. If it was that easy, we would do it. The fact is that you can't spot reduce fat. I'm not saying you can't improve your problem areas. All I'm saying is don't try to fight your genetics. Everybody is predisposed to certain fat storage patterns. And what I mean by that is everybody's gonna lose fat from different areas in a different order based on how they're made. Some people are gonna have their abdominal region be the last place they lose fat, and others are gonna have an easy time getting their stomach flat, but a really tough time losing fat from their lower body. The weird part about starting to make exercise and healthy eating a part of your life is as you start to make progress, or at least start to put in work to make progress, it's easy to get more self-conscious about your problem areas. So if you're one of those people that loses fat last from their midsection, and you start to drop fat in your limbs and in your face, you may actually notice the fat in your midsection more. And this is why we need to make sure we put strategies in place that will help you get a true assessment of your progress. The first step we recommend most people take is get into a good fitness regimen. And we want you to prioritize resistance training over cardio. Both will burn about the same amount of calories in the same amount of time if you choose the right intensity. Total body resistance training actually has a higher metabolic cost. You're gonna actually require more energy in the recovery time. So if you burn more calories in the period after exercise, your overall calories burned are higher and your exercise choice is more effective. Within your total body resistance training routine, let's also make sure that we prioritize total body movements over isolation exercises. Now, I'm not saying every exercise has to work every muscle. All I'm saying is get the most joints involved as you possibly can in a safe manner. So choosing squats to train your quads and glutes is gonna be better than using a leg extension machine or some weird hip thrusty thing that you'll find in the gym. Next, we wanna make sure that you're just following the action steps at the end of myth 1. In other words, let's make sure you're progressively improving your nutrition one habit at a time. I mentioned previously making sure we have a true assessment of your progress, which is why we wanna make sure you use objective measurements. At Results Driven, we use the InBody, which is a fancy scale that lets us know your hydration level, the amount of muscle mass, and the amount of fat mass, as well as your body fat percentage. So you can actually know what type of weight you're losing or gaining. If you're out there in internet land, if you're out there doing this on your own and you're using a scale as your primary measure of progress, we just recommend adding circumference measurements into the mix. It's gonna let us know where you're actually losing from. So I mentioned those problem areas earlier. Maybe it doesn't look the way you want it to right now because your perspective has changed, but you might actually be losing inches from that area even though you don't realize it. The last thing is just to be patient. It took you however many years to get to this point that you're unhappy enough that you're willing to make a change. So you can't expect it to change overnight. This process can be frustrating, so when you hit bumps in the road, find a coach that you trust and talk out the process with them. It's gonna make it a little bit less stressful and it's gonna fast track your results.